Welcome back, YouTubers. I'm going to install a Provent 200 into the MQ 2016 Triton. As you can see, it's a bit of a large one. It's a Mann and Hummel filter. Word on the street is buy the biggest you can. That's true to some degree, but on the website these are rated by your kilowatts, how much you put out. So if you're thinking of remapping or doing something to your engine in the future, yeah, sure, buy a bigger one. This is rated to 225 kilowatt, it might even be 250. So think where you can fit it. A lot of people seem to fit it off here somehow. I was thinking of doing it that way, possibly even doing it this way. So a lot of people say that the kits are quite expensive, and for what you get there's a couple of easy components to install and they feel like they're just being ripped off. But I've got to say, it's convenience. It's probably the main thing there. I bought that as it was for 200 and hoping I could get the parts and make up myself. Late Friday afternoon I got some hose. All the shops were closed by 5. Come Saturday morning, went to 5 vehicle stores. One was a high performance. Sure, I got two 90-degree silicon joins and 2 adapters from 32 to 19, 2 brass joiners, 6 hose rings for $101. But it didn't complete the job because I didn't have the hose drain or tap. So that was the hardest part of trying to source. Forget Bunnings, they've got nothing. The 30mm hoses are all sold out. Not because of this, but maybe they don't stock it. So that tells me I should wait till Monday, which I did. Went down to the filter shop, and for 45 bucks, I'll show you what I got. So this is what I got. The hose with a tap. It's not a brass tap. Excluding that hose, that was 22 bucks. And two stems. These are designed for the filters, so they just screw in and they seal on the O-ring there. Although there's no threads actually in the filter, these are designed for that, so you don't need a reducer per se. Just put your hose on the back and away you go, and 2 hose clamps. So for 45 bucks, that's it there. So at the moment I'm $245 out of pocket, where I was going down the other road of making it up myself. I was sitting at around $350, and it will look ugly too. This will look a lot tidier. As you can see in here, there is no threads, but they just screw in. Self tapped into it. So 3 bolts you got to undo up there, and then gets that cover off, and the hoses you'll swap around as this one. Taking that off, you'll have one from your top to your blow by, and another one coming back off that to your air intake. I thought about substituting this, and I'll show you how you can do it, but I won't. I'll probably put on another pipe. So the best situation for where this sits is going to be, what will define that would be the hoses themselves, whether it's that way or it's going to go that way. Probably, Yeah, it looks like it's only going to go that way. Maybe swing it around that way up here, because you're touching the back down there for the drain hole. But you also got to get your height lower than, or the same as your brake reservoir there. But one thing you'll notice that it's close to the exhaust. Something to think about. When I come now, when you do the drain, it's got to be lower than the sump, apparently, or the crankcase anyway, for it to actually drain into. I'm just looking over here now at this hose here. Look at that. It can't be good. So I'll have a look at that when I 3 bolts, take the lid off, and you can have a good look at what we're doing. A few notes to remind yourself of. I rang Mitsubishi and contacted them. Installing a catch can doesn't void your warranty. Basically it's just an inline filter. Manufacturers, I don't know why they can't think of good things like that, but people are smart and catch on to this stuff pretty quick, so that's cool. Yeah, so don't get sucked into getting your parts all from Bunnings. It's not going to work. You can get hose clamps. There's get the Australian ones, too low, not the Chinese ones. And you know, you want to install better equipment in your car. Anyway, let's get cracking. I forgot to tell you that underneath this lid, when you undo the bolts, just leave them in there. They'll sit in there. This has got a clip on it somewhere, no doubt. Yeah, it's over here somewhere. And there you go. There's your bolts just sitting in there, so you can line them back up. There's the other one. I thought I'd just show you a few things on this filter here. How the bracket gets adjusted. So the bracket can swivel any way you want. So that's how it's supposed to go. So if you need to rotate it, because it's actually locked in there, unhook it and turn it around wherever you want it to go. The other thing I'll tell you that it's got arrows that goes in from your, and there'll be an arrow on this one there showing you it's back out. So if you go block your drain, you'll feel it blow out of here. That's the way it's supposed to go. Just having a bit of difficulty with getting this to rest. I think it's going to be something like that. I'll dry run my hoses first, especially this one here to there. My original plan. It's changed a little. Well, that's probably the best position. I think height wise will be alright, but it's resting on that top brake line. I can get it behind it. I don't want it touching it though for vibration or anything. A bit of a change to the bracket I'm going to make up. I'm going to have to fiddle around a little bit to get it sitting in there. I had a look around the shed to see what I could find, and I found I'm going to make it out of this shelving bracket. Just thinking about joining them down there, then come straight out and then go up and then put your bracket on. Pretty straightforward. Not sure what these holes are yet. It's a bit out. Anyway, okay, change of plans in the bracket making again. The way I was going to design it, I figured I wouldn't be able to get it in there as one bracket, so change plans again. So what I'm going to do is measure the length of my bracket, including the thickness of the metal, where it's going to kind of sit, so I can get my bolts in. So around 126. Yep, I'll be happy with that. I think the drain plug's about right. Change of plans with the bracket again. I didn't realise that this is leaning backwards, so all your measurements will be out. So what I'm going to do is just take it straight off the top and set it right underneath. See how that goes. This is my angle that I've cut out. I'm just measuring my length at the moment. You can see why they actually come off one mounting point rather than the two. I've been trying to do the two. Obviously the other ones might do some redesigning now. After a bit of mucking around, we've decided that it'll be nearly too hard to actually fit this and get to that nut, tighten it up. It'll just be too difficult. I certainly can't get my hands under there. This bracket on the other side here, just position this where I want it. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I thought I'd do these things here. Just put a bit of inox on the O-ring. It's not real cool. Oh, well, just to let you know, you've got to bolt this onto your bracket before you put it in there. Otherwise it's very difficult. There's no room for error. Once I get this on, I've just got to run the hoses. I just can't reach everything properly. I'm going to get this on, I'm going to have a beer break, bit of a cool down, and measure up the hoses, get them done. I can't believe that this has taken quite a long time. I actually tried to make a double bracket, but then I realised in the end it's not going to work. I've had to come up with a better idea. Alright, that's on pretty tight. Underneath is fine. Everything's accessible, so that's good. Fucking hell. Got it running into here, so I can pull it out. What are you doing? Just having a few beers. It's prayer o'clock time. It's taken forever. So everything's in tight, everything's set. Put a bit of rubber between those. I know when I was buying this, they showed me a copy that was on eBay, and it was actually a mesh one, and I guess some brands have mesh ones, but this is more lower micron paper ones. They're good for about 40,000. Change it at 20 if you want. Sorry, 70 bucks for a changeover. So, And oil changes, you know, I think the 15,000 mark is shit. You could either go the 10 or the 7.5. So you do it twice up to the 15,000, or you do it twice to the 20,000. Whatever you want to do. I think the cleaner you can run your diesel system is far better than what the manufacturers are trying to do. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Well, it's getting a bit late. We're getting on now, so time to get some hoses measured up and sorted. So that one there is going to the top. Hang on a minute. So that one's going to the top. This car's done about 53,000 Ks. Now, as you can see, there's oil in there already. I was thinking you could probably reuse this hose if you wanted to. No, not long enough. Something like that, you cut off the 90 there. Maybe. Keep it as a spare. Something like that. But we've got the idea, it can't be higher than that anyway. I thought of it coming around that way. So if we bring it that way, it kinks the hose. Go that way. I'm having a problem here with the hoses, so that's the best idea I can come up with at the moment. I'm happy with that. I'll just pull it back with wire or something. The bonnet does close, I checked. Might zip tie that there. Put some foil around. Well, this is the end. So I've put some protection there because of the turbo and the exhaust. Because of the hoses were touching down the bottom there. Now they're not. So see how that goes. And the end of the day. This lug here fits underneath here. 2 screws back in, and you're done. If you line up the hole for the filling station, you'll get right on it. There you go. Checking for leaks. I took the car around the block, got it up to temp, and all was good. I didn't show you too well the drain, how I got it set up. So down here is where the hose drain is. Tucks into there. So when I'm ready to and pull it out like that, drain it, and take it back in there, up out of the way, just like that. Just an update. This morning I went down the road to get some hose that's more flexible, very flexible compared to the one I actually was using. And while I was down there I got some fiberglass and the hose clips So now, price wise, I'm up around 300 mark. I guess that's a saving. But I had fun doing the bracket and all that yesterday, but if you're short on time, you're better off just paying for the kit and going that way. Alright, so far I've put this one on and I've sprayed it as I went, the water, as it says to. That should protect it from tightness. And you just wrap it on like that and then zip tie it off. Soak it. Anyway, I'm finding it better now if I just rotate it in my hand. I'll show you what I mean. Getting the glove on is a brick. Don't get ahead of yourself, go nice and slow, as they say to. I think it would be easier just to get some aluminium insulation somewhere. Down the shop this morning, they said the straight joint has come out of this Provent 200 on size. They said the way I'm laying my hoses is probably the only way. I actually wanted to come out and straight across. I'm still going past the heat exchanger though, so I might wire this up out of the way or cable tie it over there, up out of the way without kinking it here. I'm going to try and set the camera up in the engine compartment and see what happens when I close the bonnet. Test it again. Okay, this project is finished now. I'm happy with the result. We'll see how it goes. Been a real job, but don't mind, it's done now. So working good. So anyway, that's the way I could fit it up. If anyone's got any better ideas or anything, put it below. Thanks for watching.